got a team assembled here for our mission through these lakes and rivers. First up there's Keenan, resourceful and tough. My senior by 10 days, making him the veteran in our squad. He brings to the table his tarp skills which will keep us dry in the rain to come. Then there's Max. He's the soulful, artsy one of the group. He's also our fire master, very handy in a pinch. And Xander. He's our company's lovable loser, the Millhouse or the Dwight of our pack. His special skill is bringing too much food, which is completely useless unless someone forgets theirs. And finally there's me. I guess I'm the pensive loner. And as for his skill, well, I'm the wet blanket. I keep things orderly and by the book, and if we play it straight, we all just might walk out of here alive. The weather forecast is the worst I've seen since Nam. We happen to run into our squadron's resident biologist Jim on the lake, and he's downloading his local fishing intel to Xander. Private Budnick needs all the help he can get to catch a fish. The poor boy is just devoid of talent of any kind, but somehow we'd all still take a bullet for him. Maybe it's because he's the youngest. I shook hands with Max and Keenan for the first time 30 minutes ago, so whether this unit can gel we will have to see. Fall colors are scheduled to peak in T-minus 100 hours, there are 2 hours until nightfall, and Camp 1 is 10 kilometers to our northeast. Over and out. Just got to the first campsite marked on our map, and it is a beauty under these white pines. Nice fire pit that's kind of sheltered, and room for all of us. 4 shelters, 4 guys. Can I give you a hand?
Yeah, I just gotta figure out how to... Wow, making it weird.
I'm in pretty good company on this trip. There's Keenan and Max, which is terrific. Such enjoyable conversation. It's hard to make progress on the paddle. Xander's tagging along, which is okay. Someone's got to look out for him. But yeah, we're all set up here. We've got split up chores. It's a beautiful thing with a group of 4. Keenan got the tarp up, Max fire, me water. Xander opened a bag of chips, which he's shared. Spicy ketchup. So yeah, it's gonna be a great trip. Terrible forecast, but to make the best of it.
What's the range? Pocket.
Yeah.
Like
range?
20,
On the focal range.
Like 24 to like 200. It's like pretty good.
Yeah. So here's a look at where we're going. We started at Quirk Lake, paddled here yesterday, and today we continue down the Serpent River. Some rapids here. Hopefully we can run them, and hopefully get to Caribou Lake today and set up a base camp there. Well, we're getting thrown right into our day here. Camp just before the portage, so we got that, and then those 6 or so rapids. Wasn't sure what to expect on this trip, but it is so beautiful so far. Taking the Serpent River down here in this rocky gorge. Loving this. With these late summer, early fall flows, it seems dubious that we'll be running any rapids. Water is way too low here. Could be a longer day than we expect. Making our way through here. This sounds a little bigger, but looks like they're dragging down. Never-ending boulder gardens in here, but really a beautiful section of the river. Beautiful, thank you. I'll come back for you. Just had a quick lunch break here, and we're hoping after a couple more rapids, couple portages, to set up a base camp for 2 nights and not have to move camp in this rain. That would get us through the worst of this rain. This looks like a bit of a mess. Keenan's line came off the end. Oh, that's awesome. We're into Nook Lake, through probably the worst part of the trip, toughest part anyway, beautiful. And one portage and we can start looking for a camp. .600-meter port into Bear Lake here, and it was kind of nice actually. We're all getting kind of chilled. It's nice to get off the water and work our bodies a little bit. Now to look for camp.
Hey, don't film me.
Excuse me. So we didn't like the site that we saw here on Bear Lake, so we're going to continue to Caribou Lake. It's a detour, not part of our main loop, but it looks like it should be scenic. Short, easy portage into this next lake, and we're really happy we did it. It's beautiful. Crystal clear water.
Yeah, throw rope, yeah.
I actually think the access is better than yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Extremely minimal. Like my foot was completely saturated, but there's nothing in the bottom.
We're getting a pretty sweet camp set up here on this island. Very happy with it, and we think we'll stay 2 nights actually. Just do some exploring from here tomorrow.
Maybe some bigger stuff in there.
It was a pretty cool and wet day. Feels amazing to have tea and tarp and fire going.
I feel like I'm in like a little kid's chair right now.
You're the kids' table. Hopefully we can find some bass in these lakes.
Well, some of us have already.
That was a river. It was a much more tiring day than expected getting down the Serpent River, but great camp here. Very enjoyable evening with the guys under the tarp and ready for a good sleep. Suddenly into day 3, and we're gonna base camp on this lake today and probably explore around, maybe get into the next lake, or at least stay on this lake and fish, maybe get something to eat from the lake. Poor Keenan crashed his drone. He's paddling out to try and retrieve it by the cliffs over there. So the sun has broken through here, much to our surprise. We were expecting another day like yesterday. And we're base camp here for the night, have a nice relaxing day, and hopefully get some fish to fry up. And there are lake trout in this lake. Unfortunately that closed a few weeks ago for the spawning period for that species. But we hope that there's smallmouth bass in here as well. So here's another look at the map from our buddy Brad at Explore the Backcountry. Many thanks, Brad. Yesterday we came down here into Caribou Lake and we're camped there on that island. Yeah, we're probably just gonna have a look around this lake. It's quite beautiful. We were considering going to McCool, but on the drone, it doesn't look any better than this lake, so I think Caribou is where it's at.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. I mean, hopefully it does all right in the snow.
Beautiful day. Too bad John's here. Such beauty comes from ruin. I'm a poet, John.
Okay, mission for the day. Get fish to eat. Legal fish. Can't be lake trout, sadly.
Would you guys want to cross to the other side? Last wind? No, just between the islands.
Pretty nasty looking clouds behind us.
Wow.
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 It's actually a pretty impressive view.
Very nice view.
The green water is incredible.
Yeah. Very Killarney,
Yeah.
Chinaguchi.
Yeah.
You're like near a cliff edge, and you just have this like weird feeling that you're like, I could throw myself over right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Call of the Void.
That was a beautiful hike up to the top of that cliff. We're now at the base of it. Huge boulders. We'll have a little lunch here. Ew, ew, what is that?
Drool.
Ew. Sorry. He drooled and then wiped it on me.
Try to wipe it off.
That's what happens when you get too close to people. Ew, I just touched it.
My mouth is very sanitary. It's like a dog mouth.
You're like a Komodo dragon.
I try to stay close to Max and Keenan. This doesn't happen.
Safer that way.
Yeah.
Hey, little buddy.
Big chaga here. Not a bite for one of us yet, but we got sun and cloud today instead of all-day drizzle that we were expecting, so today's a win. Huge wind coming in here and the rain too, I think it's just behind it. Might have jinxed it. We raced back to camp to try and beat this weather, and it hasn't rained heavily, but the wind is just ravaging this island. So Keenan raced back to get the tarp down, his big 15 by 15 tarp, and we had to get rid of that. It was just catching too much air, so hopefully rain holds off, we can make dinner. Keenan's got a great setup here. He pretty much exclusively uses big tarps and bug mesh rooms. Works well for him, especially when his dog's out. Sander brought his amok. He's comatose. I'll leave him be. He's probably dead. Been carrying around this grill here. Luigi sent it to us from Boreal Outdoor Innovations. Really love it. It doesn't take up much room in the pack, slides down the back, doesn't weigh too much. It has a nice wide span for giving lots of room for pots and pans. It's become an instant staple in my kit.
Scene.
I really would like to go on a long trip, like multi-month, and come back and the world's just changed.
Really?
He's awesome.
That always kind of excites me on a longer trip, not being exposed to the news, like what's happened in the world.
Yeah.
It's always interesting. Alright, we're up in good time today, having cold breakfast with coffee on our burners. And we gotta plow through a headwind to get off this lake, but then we should be sitting pretty with the tailwind the rest of the day perhaps. Alright, we're at our first portage for the day. We haven't made a ton of progress on this trip yet. It's been a pretty slow start. We've done that nasty section of river, but we have not done many of the portages. We have close to 20 left over the next 3 days. Beautiful falls here as we get into Whiskey Lake, where we have a long paddle with a tailwind. Taking a quick lunch break here on Whiskey Lake. Cold wind blowing. Max is boiling up a big pot of water for coffee, which is, he's a hero. It's gonna taste so good. Really quite chilly. See, Xander, I pour myself last. That's called manners.
I'm not even getting it. Awesome. Thank you everyone who helped.
You mean Max?
Max and nice pour. Yeah, it was a good pour.
You serve yourself last and take the sand for the team.
Oh yeah.
That's how Grandma raised me. We're flying down the lake with this tailwind. Rain comes and goes, but we'll take it. We need to make progress. Made great progress on this lake with the tailwind. We're heading back onto the Serpent River. We're a bit worried about getting into super low water like we did on day 2. Hopefully we can stay afloat. Oh no! I'm going around! Proper stuff. Rivers and low water.
Gotta love 'em.
Just sent the drone up to scout the area and get a look, and right as I passed over these shrubs here, 3 bears, and they startled up and ran off, and I didn't chase after them or anything. I backed off the drone, but that was pretty amazing to see. They looked so beautiful running down this valley.
I hear running water, but that looks pretty clear right there.
Terrific scenery here on the Serpent River. We're expecting a pretty short portage here, but it's quite a lot longer than expected. And we missed the takeout. There's an old M&R sign and it's in the wrong spot. So we took it out at the wrong spot. It turned into a bit of a gong show, but we're back on the right track and we're gonna camp on the portage. Here's home for tonight. Peaceful spot by the river. Too bad it's so shallow because these waters probably do not get fished.
They might have piranhas though.
Yeah, that's true. "6:30, we're all set up here and dying for a meal. Liking this spot, we're all pretty happy here. As we've talked about before, we try to resolve our differences with communication, and when that fails, violence.
Oh.
There by the red bag. So yesterday we left our camp on Caribou Lake, came around the Horn, down the Serpent River, and we're camped on that portage. Today we need to come up here and set ourselves for an exit tomorrow back on Quirk Lake. But there are 13 portages in our way, so we have a lot of time on land coming up. That's gotta be it, eh? Alright, time to start this marathon of portages. Oh, nice. Well, this first one has worked out beautifully. We took a wrong turn briefly, but corrected our direction, and it's a good trail. So nice being in these hardwood forests. The boreal forest just never offers up an understory like this.
See what you're getting.
It's the most blue sky we've seen.
I think you'll be paddling so hard into a headwind that you won't have to worry about it.
Taking a break here in this leeward section. We've got pretty stiff headwind on the lakes today, so probably prefer being on the portage, really. Heading north from Howe Lake now, up a creek, and it is immediately very shallow, so I think we'll be doing a lot of wading here. Pretty rough travel up this creek when you start portaging up it. Xander just sent out his drone to scout for us. Never trust a creek. Really beautiful in here, though. Well, we think we're through the worst of it. Almost every kilometer of river and creek on this trip has been hard earned. It's been a grind, but it's been so worth it. The colors are bursting out here, waterfalls around every turn. It's really quite an amazing spot. Last portage. So today did not really go as planned at all. I'll show you in the map when we get to camp. But we're just going to try and find something as soon as we can. It should be a beautiful lake for our final night. Wow. So today we carried on down the river and up some of these lakes. We did half of the portages we expected to. We're camped there on May Lake and we thought we would be up here 6 portages farther, but we're hoping that this road will take us back to our cars tomorrow. We'll walk out, drive the cars back. Hopefully that's gonna work.
I mean, that was a trip.
It was what it was.
It was a lot more of an adventure than expected.
It's so enjoyable being around like you guys,
Yeah.
this group.
Yeah, it was amazing.
It was fun.
It
I
was
had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be honest, my favorite part was probably dragging the canoe.
What?
Yeah.
I enjoyed
On
it
day
too.
2 or
Oh,
today?
even today.
Both days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I just like.
Masochist.
Yeah, I just like.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It was
Hard.
just beautiful. Yeah,
And
it's
it's
awesome.
challenging.
It's
The
interesting.
scenery was beautiful.
And there's variety in it.
Yeah, I
like it too.
exactly.
It was an awesome trip. Flew by.
Did seem
Yeah.
fast, didn't
It
it?
was very fast.
Yeah.
It was very,
I
very
was
fast.
telling Xander, I heard this quote recently that someone was asked, is it the journey or the destination? And they said the company.
Well said.
It's the destination. Well, guys,
And
Cheers.
that
yeah.
was a great trip.
Great trip.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Same route
Cheers.
next year this time. We're doing a yearly thing.
We go to
Oh.
Algonquin.
Yeah, we gotta get John to Algonquin.
It's just like
Yeah, that's crazy, man.
I still can't believe it.
Yeah, that's crazy that you've never been to Algonquin. You like
Interior.
Interior. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We've been to Highway 60 plenty.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's great spots. Like it's truly an awesome park. It really is.
That is funny though. Yeah, that's wild.
I wonder if this thing picked up any sound whatsoever.
Yeah, I hope so.
It's gonna be firecrackling.
My camera's probably already off there. Can you check? Final pack up here. Cold morning, foggy, and we should be able to get out in good time as long as our exit plan goes off without a hitch. Well, our mission is coming to a close and we can't say it went as planned, but they rarely do. The weather was tough at times, the rivers and creeks were nearly dry, and the few chances we got to wet a line were fruitless. But around each corner we found stunning new scenes, cliffs, waterfalls, and fog colors that made us stop and stare. However, with the wrong crew, it could have been a long 6 days. Some might find it hard to see the beauty when they're dragging their heavy outfit for hours on end in the cold rain. It's true that sometimes it's not about the journey or the destination, it's about the company. This unit gelled immediately and fast friends were made here in nature. Wilderness has a way of creating these bonds quickly when you realize how much easier things get when you work as a team. When you get to camp in the rain and Keenan gets the tarp up, Max gets the fire roaring, I get the water filtering, and Xander opens a bag of chips, there's an incredible sense of comfort and purpose in that little community. I already can't wait to assemble with this company again for another mission. Until then, over and out. No luck with the road. We just walked it the first 900 meters and decided there's just no way. So we're gonna have to start porting, and hopefully at some point we can take the cars. It's really an ATV trail, so onward. Yeah, okay, we'll go. Yeah, I kind of like to get this part done, you know, rather than start on an uphill. On my way home, coming around Lake Superior, obviously we made it out fine. It was 1.5 kilometers portage to get back to usable road. And we walked for 3 kilometers, got back to our cars, and got out of there. Great trip. And I just wanted to say, if you haven't checked out Keenan and Max's channels already, please do. They're up and coming. Like, they deserve a lot more views than they get, so check them out. And if you feel like you don't have room for more subscriptions in your life, just go ahead and unsubscribe to Xander. Old Woman Bay here, Lake Superior Provincial Park. Beautiful.
Yeah, I bet.